Song Revolution with John Chisum on the NRT Podcast Network.
Hey guys, John here, back with you on the Song Revolution. You gotta know this show is all about ramping you up to discover your genius zone in songwriting. I've had the privilege of fulfilling my call to write and sing and do my thing over the last 40 years in the Christian music world, even helping pioneer a lot of the earlier praise and worship catalog of integrity music with some of the iconic worship leaders and songwriters like Don Moen, Paul Baloche, Linda Shazo, and so many more whose names you might not know, but whose songs you and millions of others have sung over and over on Sundays all over the world. It's an amazing thing to remember how much I wanted this and how little I knew how to do any of it, even learning how to write the kind of songs that could stand out from a million others that were being written even 25 years ago. And now there are about 60,000 songs released on Spotify every day. It's just insane how the digital thing has made this all so much easier, and yet it's really dumbed a lot of it down to where we're just floating in a deep sea of mediocrity because there's no real quality control anymore. And, you know, the good news is that anyone can write and release a song, but that's also the bad news because there's no one helping to bring a higher standard and greater quality to what's being released. And it's all becoming very tribal in the sense that every artist is now responsible for building their own following. And it's more democratic in a lot of ways, but it's also harder to break through and away from the tens of thousands of songs out there to distinguish yourself and your music as anything unique. Even in worship, there's just so much of the same old being released. It's not adding to the deep tradition and legacy of the church if we just rehash the same worship phrases over and over and over. And so that's why we're doing a workshop on February 4th called Writing Powerful Songs for Praise and Worship with myself and a very special guest, Hope Darst, who had a breakout song a couple of years ago called Peace Be Still. It was originally recorded by Lauren Daigle on a Belong & Co. worship record. That's a church here in Nashville. And then Hope released her version, and it was a hit all over again. And Hope's going to be sharing her story and songwriting insights that you don't want to miss on Saturday, February 4th. It's the year 2023. So if you miss it this time around, you can always catch the replay if you go ahead and register with the link in the show notes. We'll leave the registration page up and turn it into a replay page for those of you listening sometime way out there in the future. So check it out in the show notes if you're a dedicated worship writer and you want some terrific insights that you can use in your own songwriting for the church. Well, this week I'm starting a mini-series to bring you 5 of the most powerful insights that I've ever had that have helped me to write and publish over 400 songs in my career. And guys, I'm not slowing down now. I feel like I'm actually coming into some of my best songwriting years as I continue to teach all about it through our NCS Pro Song Mastery program that's helping train hundreds of dedicated Christian songwriters literally all over the world to fulfill their passionate calling to write and release their songs, literally how to craft their best songs ever, using their gifts to glorify God and to get their songs out there to do some good in the world. There's a real process to do that gets you out of the fantasy, out of the guesswork, and into the real process of getting this done. You don't have to be frustrated. You can skip the learning curve, save time, save money, and be heard as the songwriter that you know God's called you to be by getting into our 8-week online mentoring and coaching experience called NCS Pro Song Mastery. And your first step to do that is to set up a free discovery call with us using the link in the show notes for this episode. And I mean, you can stay in a fantasy dreamland about this thing or say you're called to or take some action. I mean, it's like you say you're called to this, so take some action to actually do what you feel so deeply about. I mean, dreaming is cool, but fantasy is a trap if you're just sitting around waiting on God to jump up and do it for you. And what would it feel like to take some action on your dreams? Well, set up the call. And let's just get on a quick phone call this week to see if it's right for you, okay? Well, we're nice people. We're here to help. So let's talk about all God's put in your heart and redeem the short time that we have left on the planet. Well, I want to get into the content for today, but I want to tell you first about my friends over at Music City Acoustics. They're one of our sponsors because I went after them so that I could brag on them for helping me trick out the Chiz-Pod, my podcast studio here, with all this amazing acoustical treatment that's just made my studio so awesome. And I've said goodbye to all that sucky sound that I was having, and they can help you too. If you're a worship leader and your church has really bad sound, give Music City Acoustics a call. They're easy to work with, and they're the best in the business. If you have a home studio or an office space that's noisy and needs help, these guys are standing by to make your life easier and your space sound like $1,000,000 without having to pay $1,000,000 to get there. I absolutely love the look and the high quality construction of my wall and ceiling panels and the corner bass traps, and it's all made producing this show a breeze. So do yourself and your space a favor and reach out to Music City Acoustics right now at musiccityacoustics.com. Just mention the Chiz-Pod for a special discount on your first order, and you'll love all my friends over there. And be sure to tell them I sent you to see them. And remember, that's musiccityacoustics.com. All right, so this is the first of 5 insightful episodes that I want to bring you to help you begin to write your most powerful and engaging songs and to take some major steps into your calling. I have personally spoken on the phone with over 2,600, no lie, aspiring Christian songwriters and artists in the last few years, and every one of them has told me how passionate they are about their calling. But here's the deal. Very few of them were willing to take a chance on themselves or on God to invest in themselves as professional songwriters and artists. And that's my very first insight in this mini-series. If you want to be the best at anything, you've got to invest in yourself. You have to invest faith, time, money, and an inordinate amount of effort in yourself and your craft in order to be great. It's just naive to think that achieving greatness in sports, business, marriage, or music making is going to just fall on you without your effort. But a lot of people I've talked to over the last 7 years of leading Nashville Christian songwriters have thought that because they felt called, that God was going to do it all for them. And I think that's really a weird, learned kind of passivity that we've bought into by bad biblical teaching. We've lost a strong work ethic and the concept of serious stewardship, thinking that tips, tricks, and hacks were good enough to get us where we wanted to go. It just doesn't go down that way, my friends, no matter what it looks like on the outside. We're just not all going viral or getting discovered by a record executive. Those things happen to a tiny little fraction of songwriters and artists. It's an old paradigm that's become a cultural myth that I would do anything to help you stop believing so that you can get up off your blessed assurance and go after your dreams and your calling with a white-hot passion that can actually help you gain traction in songwriting and presenting yourself to the world with excellence and power and creativity and the anointing of the Holy Spirit. And you know what? That's a distinction that I want you to hear right now. So much of what we call anointing is nothing but the result of the hard work that we've put into ourselves and into our music. Lauren Daigle didn't just wake up one day as the iconic crossover diva that she is today. Katie Nicole, Zach Williams, Ann Wilson, and anyone else enjoying popularity right now and impacting your life, they've worked very, very hard to get there. This wasn't handed to them, and they had a lot of help getting there. They didn't just write whatever came to their minds and toss it out there. There's a very deliberate and intentional process that they've been through to get to their breakthrough. So don't look at their current success as any kind of an accident. It's not. They and their teams have been working on their music careers for years, and now they're living in the fruit of theirs and a lot of other people's hard work to go after what God put in their hearts, just like you. They've invested tens of thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars into themselves to bring you the high level of music that they do. And we reward them now publicly for their untold sacrifice in private. And it's just like our favorite athletes in any kind of sports. We don't see the sacrifices that they make behind the scenes to bring us such a high level of competition and the excitement of seeing them win medals and championships and get $1 million contracts. Yeah, I mean, just the dieting and exercise that they go through would kill most of us. So I think they deserve the big money just for that. But, it's weird. I've just seen over and over that a lot of aspiring Christian songwriters and artists are just unwilling to invest in themselves, which really means investing in the audience that they dream about. Every minute that you write and every dollar you put into learning how to write your best songs ever are the necessary investments that every successful person has to invest to get where they want to go. Now, I watch a lot of music documentaries, and there's no exception to this. If you want to be great at anything, you have to put everything into it. And stop living in a fantasy that God's just going to drop it on you. That's the death of vision and mission. But it's the funniest thing, guys. When you take even the tiniest step to invest in God's calling on your life, He moves heaven and earth to make it all happen. I've just seen it over and over. The resources always rise up to meet the commitment. You'll be hearing a lot more in the coming months about one of the new artists that I've been working with in our NCS Artist Development Program, and her name is Petrina Pacheco. And Petrina knew she was called, and she knew she was called to work with me, but she didn't know where all the investment money was going to come from. She just put it to the Lord. And then someone in her church came through with the investment unexpectedly. And she's since released her new album and 2 singles. She's making some noise at independent radio. And the invitations to minister at churches and conferences are now happening that would not have happened had she not taken action to believe and to fulfill what she knew God put in her heart. It's an old saying that where God guides, He provides, but there's a lot of truth to that. And I think the biggest problem is that we don't believe either that it's God guiding us or we're just afraid we're going to miss it or mess it up. So we just stay frozen. We're paralyzed by the fear that we're not good enough. But let me tell you a secret. None of us are good enough when we're just starting. We all have to make the effort to get good enough, and it's not easy. We have to invest ourselves fully into the process if we want to see the kind of results that we dream of. It just takes all of you rising up in faith to meet God's calling head on and co-create with Him the destiny that He's spoken into our hearts. I just believe we've bought into a weird Christian passivity that's anti-stewardship. Okay? In Matthew 25, Jesus tells the parable of the good steward. The first 2 guys got up and worked to invest the talents they were entrusted with, and the evil or lazy steward buried his gift in the ground out of fear that he wasn't good enough or he couldn't succeed. And so he didn't succeed for a lack of trying. Let me ask you, are you like the lazy steward, afraid to get up and even try? Are you burying your gifts in the passivity and fear that you feel about not being good enough? Well, I know that fear all too well and can still feel it sometimes. We all do, and that's a secret that we often miss. Even the most successful, rich, and powerful people in the world wrestle with that same fear of never being good enough, no matter how much power, money, fame, or success they have. And we all just have to wrestle that demon down and decide that we're going to get up and do what we want to do, no matter how afraid we are. Do it afraid. Just try. Do your best. Take even a tiny step towards your destiny and watch the road rise up to meet your feet. Faith is what God rewards. And the Word is filled with stories of how God has made a way time and time again when the situation just seemed impossible. In my earlier life in ministry, I spent several years being mentored by one one of the most famous healing evangelists ever, Dr. Kenneth E. Hagin. And his story, his anointing of miraculous healing and of faith to literally move mountains got stuck in me. And I've seen miracles in my own life and ministry many times, but only when I stepped out in faith to believe for it. And that's what I want to encourage you to do now. If you honestly believe God's called you into songwriting and making music and maybe even being an artist, start with believing in His call. Believe He's big enough to provide for the investment that you need to make in yourself. Then believe in yourself and take whatever small steps you can to start making it all a reality. Join our NCS Pro Song Mastery Coaching or attend our upcoming workshop on February 4th with Hope Dars, who I know personally has had a big dream to be a worship leader and songwriter in a way that didn't happen overnight. She worked behind the scenes for years before it started happening for her. And that can be you. You've just got to get up and get started. Get up, and God will meet you. That's His promise. It's faith and a holy imagination that He rewards. All right, so jump into the workshop or go look at the replay or sign up for a free call with us to see if you're ready for the 8-week online mentoring we offer. It's really up to you what you do with your calling. And in the meantime, I'm going to be bringing you 4 more powerful insights on this show to encourage you. But the first thing is to stop looking for hacks and step up your own investment in yourself and level up your own work ethic instead of blaming the record business or the Christian radio or your pastor or your mom, your dad, or the devil. No one's keeping you from your calling and destiny except you. And that's the truth. It might sound like tough love, but it's just the truth. This is on nobody but you. So let's make this the day that we do something about stewarding ourselves and all God's given us. All right, so the first insight is to invest in yourself. It's not selfish. It's actually the most generous thing you can do for the rest of us because, being mediocre and staying undeveloped in your ministry is a disgrace and a disservice to the Lord and to the world. So start shifting your mindset towards better stewardship and service to the calling that you have and watch God meet you at every turn. Be sure to check the show notes, sign up for the Writing Powerful Songs for Praise and Worship workshop, and check out the online coaching. And I'll see you next time on Song Revolution. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show today. I hope that you'll jump over to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com and check out all the resources there to encourage you in your own songwriting. And if you like what we're doing, why not share this episode out on your socials? You can find the link in the show notes. We'll see you next time.